She's all yours.
Haleigh, this is Birdie from Tiger TV. How does it feel to now have 10 tens in a season career? I mean, would you say you achieved all your goals this season?
Um, Definitely not achieved all my goals. I know this team wants to go so many more places, but it's an honor to have accomplished what I did tonight. But we're still going, and I want to do everything for this team, so we're not done yet.
Yeah, Haleigh, I guess can you just describe that feeling when you're just in a zone, just in a rhythm like that?
I definitely told myself before I went, I knew I didn't feel the best, but I said just do what you do every single day. Go on autopilot and do what you do day in and day out of the gym, and it paid off, and I'm just so proud of this team and so proud of where we're going.
You didn't feel the best? You told me
Before.
5 times during the meet you were good.
Not the best, but it was good.
Okay, don't lie to Jay.
I didn't.
I'm just playing.
Not the best, but good.
All right,
It was good.
And one more thing, I guess when you hear that you are now the program record holder for career perfect tens, I guess what does that mean to you?
It's truly an honor. I have wanted to come to LSU since I literally watched the first LSU gymnastics meet on TV, and just breaking the record in there and just tying for so many amazing things with so many amazing people out there is just truly an honor, and I would not want to be anywhere else.
So you have that pressure, I guess, of going first two tens, and then so how do you try and manage that off once you get to beam, trying to do your normal stuff? What do you have to do?
I just told myself to do what I do every single day in the gym, go on autopilot, no more effort, no less effort, do what I do every single day, be normal out there, and I knew it would pay off if I was normal.
Jay, you've been around the sport for a while, I guess. Where does that individual performance rank?
Well, officially, there's maybe one that was better by score, but I don't know that I've ever seen a more complete four-event from with the way things are today. To get 3 tens in one meet, that's insane. And no, she's an all-timer, y'all. I mean, you're witnessing absolute greatness, and I'm just glad she's on our team. That's all. I tell her that all the time. We've got a lot of great kids, and so many have stepped up. But I believe so many have felt they could step up in large part due to the steadying force that Haleigh is. It calms everyone down. They don't feel like they have to be Superman because they know that we've got Haleigh there, and that's not always fair to Haleigh. But she handles it with such poise and grace and humility. I'd be hard pressed to be more proud of an athlete in my coaching career.
You said you've had some aches and pains this year. You could have been like, I don't want to go the all around. But was this very different today? Did you feel like, or you're like, no, there's no shot. I'm gonna go out there and do all 4 events. If I can stand up, I'm gonna do it.
I just want to do my best for this team. I'm willing to do anything they need me to do, and I'm going to put my best foot forward and do my best gymnastics for them.
I guess this is, if either of y'all can answer this, I guess just how enjoyable and fun was today. Not just Haleigh's record-breaking performance, but to have the seniors go out the way they did, and alone as she gets her career high on the floor. Just how enjoyable was today?
It was amazing, just celebrating those seniors because they have done so much for this program. They're leaders. They work so hard every single day in the gym. I look up to them in every single way. So just celebrating them out there was so much fun, and I'm so excited to continue and go to the postseason and keep climbing.
I would agree. Those seniors, Alona was really the one that got to compete. Cam got to do an exhibition tonight on bars, but behind the scenes, those seniors have meant so much. And not even behind the scenes. They've competed over their careers, and they've done amazing things. But the thing that makes them so special is the character. Even in the face of their own adversity this year, whether it's Kaya or Kai or anybody else, the way they conduct themselves and the way they've supported their team and the way they've never once sat and in self-pity. And That's pretty special. You don't get that all the time, especially from young people. And not one time have they made it about themselves when they've had adversity, and so they made a great deal. And that also allows people to go out there and compete comfortably because they don't feel like you know they're taking advantage of someone's misfortune. They're just going out and doing their thing.
Haleigh, the only sport I was ever any decent at was golf, so I'll use a golf analogy. A lot of times a guy's practicing a putt or something like that, or a young lady, this is to win the U.S. Open, this is to win the Masters or something like that. Do you ever growing up think, this is to get a 10, or this is to win the gold medal? I mean, did you ever envision a meet like this where you could score so well and be at 3 10s?
I definitely don't like think about scores or what the judges are going to do. I kind of just go out there, do what I do every single day in the gym, and whatever the judges do is what they do. Control what I can control, and I know if I do my normal gymnastics like I do every single day in the gym, it'll all pay off.
She does a masterful job of not allowing those things to get in her head. You know,
The dismount on bars, that hasn't changed, has it?
it changed last year. We
It
put it
changed.
in. We put it in last year, so it's a double front with a
And
half.
I happened to go over and talk to Bob during the meet. He said it looks really hard to go from facing the beam to finishing 180, but he said it's actually easier because it's not blind.
easier to land, yeah.
It's easier to
Really?
land because she can
I can
see
see,
the
yeah.
floor. Yeah. It's more impressive to watch. It's more impressive to watch. Her freshman year, she did just a plain double front, and we knew I don't like those. Aaliyah still has one that's a blind landing, but if I have choice, I'd try to stay away from blind landings. But with Haleigh, she had trained it, I think, in club for a while before she came here, but not really competed it. So we just stayed with it for a year and just kept working it until she could get it at the end of the routine. And we put it in last year, and since then you've seen that landing become super consistent, and that's why, because as she makes that half turn, she can spot the floor, and that makes it a much easier landing to execute.
I would get you to talk about now that you're at the end of the regular season and you're going into the postseason. You've had 9 straight scores of 197 plus. You've had 2 over 198. You're obviously your average is really up there.
Yeah.
You're on a roll, but without all these gymnasts who could be competing for it, could you have imagined getting to this point without some of the people who you now don't have? And what do you think has gotten how have you?
Yeah, I mean, I tell them all the time, none of you are here because you can't. You're here because you can. And, there's, obviously when you're missing some people that no one would argue were some of our best performers, but it's an opportunity for somebody else to jump in. And that's been the strength of this team, is that they really understand and believe that when their opportunity comes, the next person up, they take advantage of it, and they do it for the right reasons, which is interesting. It's a huge part of this. That our culture plays a lot into that mindset, because they're out there doing it for each other, and when you're out there doing it for yourself, that's a trap. And we've seen gymnasts over the years that get caught up in the idea of I got to get a 10, or the whole me thing is not something we do. It's 100% we in everything that we do, and they've bought into that. They believe that, and so when you can do that, that frees your mind to compete aggressively and be more effective and more consistent, because you're doing it for each other. And I really think that the strength of this team has been that they believe that. I don't know that I would have thought one way or another. I just knew that we were going through some adversity, and we couldn't bat an eye. We had no choice but to continue to move forward. And I'm just so proud of them. I hurt for the kids that have been injured and the things that have gone south, but at the same time, they're getting joy out of watching their teammates rally and do what they're doing. But as we tell them every week, and so tonight's a great night, and but now, we'll enjoy this tonight. Go celebrate the seniors over where we're going. I don't want to advertise that, but but we'll, and then it's on to SECs. I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased that they've fought their way into being in a position to be the number 2 seed at SECs. I think that's a tremendous accomplishment in the face of the things that they've had to endure, and all the credit goes to them. They just won't quit, and they're tired. They have to be. But we tried our best to acknowledge that we're fatigued, but not dwell on it, and keep moving forward.
Jay, the end of January looked a lot different than the beginning of March. The distance that's been covered, the ground that's been covered since going back to, say, Kentucky to today. Are there words to describe the leaps that the team has taken since that time and what it took communally as an organization to pick yourselves up from that? Haleigh, I see you nodding your head. Does that mean something to you from where you were that particular night to where you are today?
Yeah, it's just like I'm just so proud of this team. Like we definitely could have gone into a hole and just given up, but we knew what we wanted to do, and we knew we had still had amazing people on this team that were going to get their opportunity to compete, and they've all stepped up, and I just could not be more proud of this team, and I could not be more honored to be a part of it.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think the character of this team, lesser teams with lesser would have folded their tent. They just didn't. That's all I can say. They refused to believe anything other than what we were trying to do. And they believed in everything. They believed in the fall when we changed some things up. And I've been around teams that would have complained about that, and not this one. They just, and they, as I've mentioned earlier in Scott's question, they do it for the right reasons. They do it for each other, and they do it for LSU, and they're proud of LSU. They're proud to be at LSU. And I don't know why you wouldn't be. If you look at what that they're doing and you come into this arena and you see those fans, I mean, what recruit anywhere in the country wouldn't want to be a part of this with what has gone on? Now, we hadn't done anything yet, so let's not act like we won the Super Bowl. But we're moving in the right direction, and it's exciting to watch them. I love watching them. When the adversity strikes, I've gotten to a place where I kind of throw my hands. I'm a control person by nature. I guess a lot of coaches may be, but I've learned that I can trust these guys. And as a coach, that's a good place to be. That I don't have to overspeak. I do anyway sometimes, don't I? But I can step back and I can let them do their thing, and I can let our coaches do their thing, and I don't have to. And so it's a refreshing place to be as a coach right now. Certainly, we would love to have everybody healthy. We'd love to have our full boat, but you can't say enough about this team and the character that they show.
Hey, so correct me if I'm wrong. Did we have an adjusted floor routine from Finnegan tonight? Did we cut that third pass?
We did.
Was that due to her illness, or was that just an adjustment we're making going forward?
It was partially because of that, because she had, she came back in the gym. We didn't do much with her Monday at all. I don't think we did anything. And so she was a little weak from being ill, and I don't want to be obstinate or hard-headed. Her feet were starting to bother her a little bit, and she's got a history of some problems with her feet from way back. So McCool and Court and I just talked about it, and just thought, look, what are we trying to prove? She goes out there and does that double Arabian and then 2.5 punch front, and really the last pass, the choreography of the ending of that thing adds more to the routine than the last pass does. So we just thought, I don't know if we'll stay that way. She likes doing the 3 passes. It's something that she likes. So it's easy for her to go back and forth. So we really will make a kind of a week-to-week decision on what we do there. But that was a good observation. That it?
Thank y'all.
Thank you, guys.